everyone. Pam Savage with Young at Heart Creations. It is Tuesday. Paint Live with you. Try to paint every Tuesday evening around 6 or 6:30, sometime in between there. So if you're watching, hop on, tell me who you are and where you're from, and especially if this is your first time, let me know that. I will show you a few things that that I've done over the last couple of days, but here's what we're going to be working on tonight. It's kind of big. It's backwards for you, but it says Grow in Grace, and it's going to have lemons and leaves. I was going to do something Christmas with you tonight, but this is something I have to get done for our Ladies' Day at church, so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and paint this with you. But here's what I've been working on. Finished up an ornament that we started at the retreat. Isn't that cute? Anything Santa. I'm crazy for anything Santa. Hi, Heather. So this is the little Santa ornament. It's 1/4 inch. And I believe this is the Luan wood. I think it's what she uses. She has, Erica Wallace was the one that cut these out. She has a laser cutter that she does those on. And then I have been Mod Podging like crazy. This is another ornament that I bought at the retreat. And I've been Mod Podging. That's a pretty little napkin. Isn't that so pretty? I mean, you could make a garland or hang it on the tree. Just so many little things you could do, even in a little easel. But what a cute little coworker gift, or something like that, or even to put on a gift as the attachment. So done that one, and then I've been working on these 3D little chunky canvases, is what I call them. So I've got a lot of new napkins for Christmas that I gotten in that I showed you. So I've been working on those. This would be really cute with a little bell or bow or anything up top. But I'll have all of these, and it just says Mary. And I'll have all of these at the craft show next month at the Howe High School. So if you are local and would like to come to that, be sure and check out my booth. But we'll have, usually they have about 70 vendors, 70-something vendors on there. So we have a pretty good craft show. So hi, Tamara. Glad you're feeling better, dear. I've been through that COVID and it is no fun. So just finished that one. And then I've got the grand dogs behind me, so I'm trying not to roll on her. This is another one that I've just finished. Just a little sled, and again cut out on the laser. I've got real buttons for his buttons, so it gives it just a little dimension there. And Let It Snow, and for the O, I have a little wooden snowflake that I got at Hobby Lobby. Got a whole package of them. Oh, I'm so glad you're feeling better. That COVID is no fun. All right, I'm going to set this aside because I'm afraid it's going to fall on her if I set it back there. And then another one that I just think they're so pretty. They're simple, but just a beautiful napkin. So I decided to do, since the bow is in gold, I decided to use my Deco Art Extreme Gold. I left it downstairs because I've been painting downstairs too, but love it. It just gives such a pretty shimmer and shine, and really brings the little gold flecks out in that. So we kind of painted one like that not too long ago on live, and then y'all know I'm a Santa fanatic. So I had to do some with Santa. Look at that sweet Santa face. I did those in red. I also did one in gold with the gold trim, and it was really pretty too. So I have got, I think I did almost 20 of these in the last 2 days. And I think I'm going to put like $8 on them. I know, they're just gorgeous. I've gotten so many pretty ones. Let me grab a couple of more real quick over here since Puppy Dog decided to move. I have just really been busy with them. But you don't have to just anything. Here's one that's real springy. Oh, the colors in it. I just love the colors. And of course I did green, so Tamara's gonna like that green. And then another Christmassy one, and I'm thinking about maybe going back and putting a little bit of glitter on the ornaments for him. But I just thought they would make really good office gifts, and these have been going like crazy. Miss Pig. So I guess people do still do pigs in their kitchen. So she's very popular right now, but the colors in them are just so pretty. And I added a few little flowers on the side of her, just to give it something different. And I did, all but sealing it, I did finish the little girls table and chair set. I'm so excited. So that means I can get started on the little kitchen, little stove and sink set. But I haven't sealed it yet, but I will take some pictures of that tomorrow. I just finished up some details, so it wasn't quite dry yet on it. That's the one I've been painting live with you for the last 3 or 4 days. And so I finally got it finished. Oh, and one more. This one is another popular. We have a lot of horse people around here, so this one is really popular as well. So that's what we're doing right now for the craft show, because I like to have not only the big door hangers and, you know, the large items that are a little more expensive. I like to have what I call fillers that I just have sitting around. These will be about $8, I think, plus tax. And again, you could embellish them and put, like this one would be cute with some jute on it. You can just do all kinds of things with them. So they make really good shelf sitters, coworker gifts, or for a tier tray. Just so many different things that you can do with them. So I am just having a blast with that right now because they're relatively fast compared to what we normally paint. Now, Tamara, I know everything you paint is fast. So, but anyway, so that's what I've been working on, but mainly the little girls' table and chair set. I've put a lot of detail into the tabletop, and it turned out really, really cute, I think. Hi, Cindy. Thank you for jumping on. Okay, so this is what we're doing tonight, and I'm doing it for a church, our Ladies' Day that we have in a couple of weeks. It's big. It's about a 20-something inch. I didn't measure it, but Renee Goen, that goes to church with us, she's also a Painters Clubhouse sister. She just got a Cricut, and so she, for the first time, she made her own stencil on her Cricut. It says Grow in Grace. So I think she did such a good job. I'm so proud of her. So she's learning the Cricut, and she's going to teach me the Cricut. So she's got her work cut out for her. Hi, Carol. And I also bought, finally got the Lazy Susan. So especially with a piece like this, it is really going to come in handy. So it's a lot of new things tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. I did go ahead and base coat. Now I'm going to bring you down so you can see here. And I'll try to come back up every now and then and check on comments. But let's go ahead and get started. My grand puppy dog is not feeling real good. Her mama comes home from California tonight. But she got into ants yesterday, and she has just not felt good. I had to give her some Benadryl, so she's been kind of drowsy today, and she has not wanted to leave my side. Normally, if I have her, what I do is I just shut the door, and she lays out there until I'm done. Oh, I know, Cindy. I don't know why it took me so long to get a Lazy Susan, because it is so helpful. But anyway, I've got it now. But I usually put her outside in the hallway. And just close the door until I'm done, because she's usually pretty active and can get noisy, but she just has not wanted to leave my side today. So she's laying down here beside me, and she's licking her feet where the ants bit her. So I gave her half of a Benadryl last night. She's just been kind of groggy all day. Gave her a good bath. So anyway, she did not like those ants. Okay, so I'm going to pull you down here. And y'all go ahead and comment and talk to each other. But I did want to go ahead and get started on it, and I will check the comments as we go. So this is a pretty big piece, so it really is helping with this Lazy Susan. So let me try to keep it where you can see. The lighting is much better up here with my ring light than my dining room table at night, but it was just too big to be up here. Okay, so I've base coated them in white, and because yellow is just really hard to get a good coverage on it. So we're going to go ahead and base coat them in, I'm using, this is Deco Art Sunny Day. It's a very bright yellow, but I thought it looked very lemony. I know a lot of people do their kitchens in lemons, but this is going to go in our new kitchen at our church building. We just had it remodeled, and we're going to hang it on the tile, but it's pretty heavy, so we decided to just put it in an easel. and set it beside the sink. So I think it'll be really pretty. So if you're local, our Ladies' Day is not this coming Saturday, but the next at 9 o'clock at the Howe Church of Christ in Howe. And we would love to have you. Kept kind of getting out of camera here, so let me get back on there. It has been gorgeous here today. The weather is just so pretty. We had a church picnic Sunday, and then we had our morning worship at the church building, and then we had a picnic, and then had our evening service. We just went ahead and had our evening service there. Oh, and the weather was gorgeous, and the singing. We had, I don't know, close to probably 50 people that went, and the singing was, we were under a big pavilion, a metal pavilion, so it really echoed, and there were people there having birthday parties in other areas of the park, and they just stopped what they were doing and were listening because it was so pretty. And we had a guest speaker from Tennessee. Hatton was his name. I can't think of his last name, but young preacher, and just had a really good lesson. So it was a wonderful day. Okay, that white really helps bring that yellow out and help it to pop. And we'll do a little bit of shading on it here, but we'll go ahead and get them all base coated. I don't know why I started on the second one down here. Let's go ahead and do the first one. And you probably can't see it, but what I did was took graphite paper, and I had a little lemon pattern, and just used the graphite paper, and then just kind of free-handed some leaves. I've got some vines and some leaves that are graphited on there. You probably can't see it on camera right now, but they're there, and so we'll get some leaves added. My daughter is a school nurse, and they were on fall break. So she went out to see some friends in California, and she's flying back tonight. She should be here around, probably around 9 or 9:30. So I'm anxious to hear all of her stories. She used to live in California when she was doing travel nursing, and she loves California. Just the ocean, the beautiful scenery that that's just all around it. I lived in California when I was, I guess I was about 5. We just lived there for a summer, and I remember it vividly. I remember the huge trees and going on the dock and watching them bring fish in that they were catching, and octopus, and I thought, who in the world would eat octopus? But they did. And they would be bringing sharks up. Now this wood piece, I think Renee got it at, I think she said Lowe's. And it's it's at least 1 inch thick. So it's a pretty sizable piece. I watched Tamara, was on here a minute ago, Tamara Bennett with Southern Adornments Decor. She painted a beautiful door hanger today with pumpkin and some shiplap look, and it was really pretty. She's had Charlie, her little girl, on a lot the last week or so since they've been home with COVID, so she's been helping her with her lives. She's the same age as my grandson, but he's very shy. Tamara, if you're still on here, I'm looking forward to the day that Charlie figures out how to go live by herself, and you've left your phone in there or something, and we've got a live going on with Charlie, and nobody knows it but us. I can see that happening soon. She's so smart, and she just loves doing it. And the little stinker's pretty good at it. We've still got a lot of people with COVID in our area. I'm supposed to be painting at Hobby Lobby once a month as an instructor, and they still have not opened up their room for us to do that. So hopefully after the first of the year. Now this wood it's pretty dry, and it has a lot of ridges in it, so it is taking just a little bit to get it, a little bit of effort to get it to cover without bleeding. It kind of bleeds like if you had tape on it and you were painting using the painter's tape. So trying not to get my paint too wet. I'm using an angle brush. See how the toe of it's up here, and then it gets smaller as it goes down, so it's at an angle. And so it's an angle brush, and that's pretty good for getting in the edges. Makes it a little easier. But you can also use a flat brush or just whatever you're most comfortable with. After you've painted for a while, you'll have your favorite brushes that you get to know. I haven't named mine, but I've come close. I get pretty attached to my brushes. Some of them I've had for over 20 years. And they're still going strong. Puppy dog's asleep over there, and she's never asleep this time of the day. This is her I'm ready to play, take me OUT. If I say it, she'll perk up there. But she is just not feeling good. Just like a toddler, when they don't feel good, they want their Grammy or their mama. She's been in my lap. She's not a lap dog. She weighs nearly 30 pounds, but she thinks she's a lap dog. Okay, and I am going to put one more coat over that. Look how nice that is. It makes it so easy. I love, love, love it. Now, it won't work for everything, but for some pieces, it is going to be really good. And it keeps the piece off of your table, so you don't get paint all over the edges. We'll do some highlights and a little bit of shading. Oh, that yellow is really pretty. It's very lemony. I'm getting low on paint. I need to go to Hobby Lobby, but this is not the week that they have their paints on sale, and unless I am just desperate, I just can't pay full price for it. So I always wait until it goes on sale. My Hobby Lobby's just, oh, it's probably 8 minutes from me. So I can wait for it. I had to order some more of the little chunky canvases. I've used all that I had. I had, I don't know, over 20 something, and I've used them all. So that's how many I've done in the last couple of days. Did anybody else panic when Facebook went down yesterday? Those of you that have businesses or you get on Facebook Lives. At first I did, but then I thought, it'll come back up, and then I thought, I'm just going to take advantage of this time and just paint, and not worry about it, and I did, and before I knew it, it was back up. I'm not sure, Carol, what color the stain is, because I didn't stain it, Renee did, but I had to do a little bit of touch-up on her stencil where it had bled, and the closest color I could get to it with paint was honey brown. I just watered it down. So it was Deco Art Honey Brown. That was the closest that I could get to it. So it's a very light stain. So I really don't know what color it is. So for Renee, if you're on here and you know what color you used, I'm not sure if she's at work, but let us know. I would be in so much trouble if I lived close to Hobby Lobby. Oh, believe me, if it weren't for gift cards, I would probably have to go back to work to take care of my Hobby Lobby habit. All right, let me bring you back down here. Angle brush, yes, the angle brush. Thank you. Yeah, they're really, really good for doing little detail work like this. I mean, I'm just base coating, but just getting out to those edges, it's really nice. This is a Low Cornell. They're really good brushes, but their company, they're just not making very many brushes anymore. I've got my favorite liner brush was with them, and they don't have it anymore. So I'm not sure what's going on with them. So I am trying out some new ones. And so far I'm liking them. I got one at Hobby Lobby, Master Painter or Masterpiece. I'm not sure what it was called, but oh, here it is. It is Master's Touch, and it's got a very short handle on it. It's kind of fat down here, so it's kind of weighted, and I'm really liking it. It's working out pretty good. So I'm having to get used to it because it's a completely different feel from what my other is. Now these lemons right now to you look lopsided, or you know, it's like, why is that there? Well, that's where the leaves are going over some of them, so that's why it's looking a little funny right now. Okay, so let's go back around to this one. They're already dry enough. Let's go ahead and hit it just a little bit. We'll get that second coat on. This is another thing, thanks to Tamara, that I just purchased. It's the Heated Craft Tool. And it's so much quieter than the loud one, and it does a really good job. It gets really hot. Doesn't take long at all, but it's so quiet. The other one, you can just barely hear me talk if I've got it on. Okay, so for the second coat, I'm going to get my paint just a little thinner. Got all those canvases over there in the way. But I've been pricing everything as I paint it. I've been putting the price tags on it. And I just purchased a square reader. So I'm going to be entering all of the things in that so that I can just pull it up, and like on the chunky canvases, I'll just list them in the library of the Square program as chunky canvas, and I'll just have to click on that and it'll go ahead and charge them and add it to their cart. So my daughter-in-law has been teaching me how to use it. Y'all know how technically challenged I am. But she's been teaching me how to use it, and y'all will be very proud of me. So I've got a couple of sales that I'm going to go ahead and try it on before the craft show. We used it at my painter's event, but I was busy teaching and didn't use it. My daughter-in-law is the one that rang everything up, so I haven't actually used it yet. So I'm anxious to do it. Usually at the craft show, I don't get to run my booth because for years I was the coordinator of the show, so I was always running around like a chicken with my head cut off, making sure the vendors were okay. Did they need any cash? Did they get in the right booth? Was there anything inappropriate that they needed to take down, because it was at a school and I was very picky about what they could and couldn't put up. I didn't want shirts with anything ugly on it, so I was always walking around doing things like that and welcoming everybody, and so I always had somebody else running my booth. So I am looking forward to, because I did resign as coordinator and somebody else does that now. So I get to just sit back, relax, and visit with all the customers and run my booth. My mom helped me for years. And my family helped me. Okay, that one covered pretty good. Okay, so I think that's covered pretty good. Let's get, while it's still wet, let's go ahead and use our, I'm going to, for the shading part of it, I'm going to use, this is Delta Ceramcoat, and it's called Antique Gold. So it's just a little bit darker than this yellow, so that's what I'm going to use to shade the bottoms of them with, where it would be kind of shadowed. I always try to shade where the light would make it shadow, and then I highlight where the light would be hitting it. All right, wash that out, and let's go with, let me grab my little bit bigger brush here. And I'm going to switch to a flat, and this is Royal Langnickel, and it's a number 10. Now each company has their own system, so a low Cornell tin might be much larger, so they're not the same. So you have to kind of be aware of that. So I've got my brush just a little bit wet, and I'm going to go ahead and get some of that yellow on it. You've seen me shade a different way where I blend it on the plate, but we're just going to do what we call kind of dirty or messy shading, as Erica Wallace calls it. I don't know if there's a technical term for it, but let's just go. Okay, we're going to have our light coming from the left, so our shadows are going to be on the right side of it. So let's go ahead and start from that side. Make sure you can see over here. So I'm just getting that base coat, that yellow, and having that base coat on it. And while the paint's still a little bit wet, that's going to help you blend it out. You don't want a really harsh line. Just blend it in there. And you might have to add just a little bit as you go. Almost the same color as the stain on the board, but there's enough of the yellow that's separating it. So I'm going to go up here just at the top, and we'll do it right on the bottom here, just on the left side. Okay, let me see if I can hold that up enough for you to see the difference with the shading on it. And let's do that on each one. And I'm going to reload my brush. And I'm just putting that base coat color on there. And again, getting some of that antique gold. Now, you don't want your brush too wet, or it will just go everywhere and it will blend out too much. So add a little more. And just kind of smoothing any ridges out that I have. And I'm just blending it out with that base coat that we've got. Just on the left side of the top, and then all the way down to the left side of the bottom. Okay, and let's go to our third one. I think my brush is still wet enough, so we'll see if we can do it without wetting it. And I'm just blending back and forth. Now you can use different size brushes to do this. You could use the angle brush, would work with it. This is really a rough piece of wood, so it's being a little contrary, but we're getting there. We have a fall festival planned for our congregation and surrounding congregations. So they've asked if I would do a booth for the kids to paint wooden pumpkins. About a 6-inch, 4-inch to 6-inch. So I'm going to have a table and a booth set up. And that's what they're going to do in my booth. We usually just have what we call trunk or treat, where we all back our cars up, open the trunks, and decorate our cars and come in costume. And I'm going to put a little bit here at the top. And then give all the kids, let them get candy, let them, after worship service, they'll put their costumes on. And they're so adorable. Okay, I'm going to move this stack of things that I was showing you in the way, and I'm afraid I'm going to get paint on them. I have a little stair step, a wood display that's stair stepped, and that's what I'm going to set those on randomly, and then I'll pull them out as they sell. I can put some more in them. So I think they're going to make really cute shelf sitters on there. Okay, so let's shade our last lemon. A wonderful hostess. Well, thank you. You use Square invoicing. Well, see, I'm just kind of learning all that. So it does everything almost for you. So I love that. Hi, Christy. Haven't seen you on here in a while. Thank you for watching. Y'all, if you don't mind, sprinkle the love, spread the paint, as we say. We can't say S-H-A-R-E. Facebook doesn't like that, but if you would let everybody else know about the videos, I would appreciate it. All right, let's get you back down here. I've got one more to shade here. You can also use blending gel. With this, I'm just using a little bit of water. And we'll just start right about here. Work it down and then work it back up. I'm so proud of myself. Usually on live nights, my husband, just for supper, he will make himself breakfast. He likes breakfast for supper sometimes, so that's what he does on Tuesdays. He will fix himself breakfast, but I got industrious today since I was downstairs painting and not up here. I made a homemade a big homemade chicken pot pie. So, oh, it smells so good. I just took it out of the oven right before I came up here, and the crust turned out so pretty, and it's such an easy recipe. I mean, it literally takes maybe 10 minutes to put it together. And it tastes so good. It was a recipe that a friend gave me. And it's great to take to church functions. Okay, I'm going to put a little more yellow on here and kind of blend this. I got some of the gold here, so I'm just going to clean it up a little bit with that yellow. And it's like it was never there. Okay, now I'm going to take some white and we're going to highlight. We're going to do the same thing. So I'm about out of yellow, so I'm going to put some more yellow on here and we're going to give it some highlights. Give each one of them. So let's put a little more yellow there and we'll get a little bit of white. And we'll come back and do some little specks on them to look like the little dimples. I'm going to go to a little bit smaller flat brush. This is a number 6, just to do some of the highlights on it. Okay, so I'm getting that yellow, our base coat on there, and a little bit of that white on the tip. And we're just going to go on the opposite side here. Now that's probably hard for you to see, but I can see it really well. And I'm just adding a little more of the white. Probably will use just a little scruffy brush that I have to kind of put some of the dimples in it. I've never done lemons before, so it's kind of trial and error here. Put right up at the top. I'm just really blending it out. We've lived here in this house for 33 years, I think. We have a very long driveway that comes up to our house that's not lit. It's gravel, and I don't know if it's spooky or what the deal is, but we have never had a trick-or-treater come to our house other than our grandchildren. So we always go over, when our grandchildren lived here, they've moved to Oklahoma now, the ones that did live here, we would always go over to their house and hand out candy or go trick-or-treating with them. But in the 33, 34 years that we've lived here, we have never, ever had a trick-or-treater. Alrighty here. We're almost done with the shading and highlighting on these, and we'll get to the leaves. And to get into that gold. Ooh, I tell you, this makes it so nice. The little kitchen stove and sink set that I've got to paint, it's this color. It's a bright yellow, and I want it white with my pinks that I do. I want it very little girly. Like the little table and chair set that I just completed, because I want it to be kind of a set. So I've got to base coat it. I'm going to put a little more yellow in this here, because I got a little too much of the white. So we'll just kind of blend it back in. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on our leaves a little bit. I think I'm going to do them in the Hauser medium green. Love that color, Deco Art. It comes in Hauser light green, medium green, and the dark green. So I really like it because you can just use all three of those colors to do your shading, highlighting. Okay, let's start up here at the top. And I'm going to start with the flat brush. We'll see if I like it to do the leaves with. Okay, here's one here. Let's see if I can get you down a little closer here. And I'm just kind of standing it up on its chisel edge on top of the bristles, outlining it, and then just filling it in. Okay, and there's some little vines here that we'll go through and use to attach it, to attach each one of them. Today's the first day that I have not seen the hummingbirds. Not a single one today. There's been about a dozen out there every day on it, hitting it hard, and I did not see one at all today, and that usually is an indication that they have left to migrate. I can't remember where they migrate to, somewhere down south. And that the weather is about to change. It's been really nice and cool here. But usually when they leave, that's an indication that winter is on its way. You know, yesterday when I was painting that, working on the little girl's table and chair set, they were coming right up to the window and watching me. Just right up, that's what they were doing. They were watching what I was doing, and I got to thinking, now that I didn't see them today, maybe they were telling me bye. Bye until they come back. Okay, now it's definitely going to take a second coat on these two. Kind of hard to see where that light is shining. The ridges in this wood, it's really deep. It's not smooth like what we're used to painting on. Okay, I'm going to turn it around just a little bit here so I can get right up against that lemon. Now I'm using the flat side of it. I was up on the chisel edge to outline it. And now I'm using the flat edge. And we'll do some highlighting on the leaves as well. Okay, so we've got one here that kind of goes off. Tamara is talking about having a live event sometime next summer in Dallas, which is just about an hour from me, so I am beyond excited. I don't know which I'm more excited, just to paint with everybody or to get to see and hug Miss Tamara and some of the other ladies. Gotten really close to so many of them through the club that Tamara has. Found some friends through it that are very close here. Some of you that are on here. So hopefully COVID won't ruin it this time. Okay, we've got a big one here and then another small one there. Now I've got my door to the craft room open. I don't know if my hubby's going to remember that I'm live or not, so if you hear him hollering, are you going to eat? You ready to eat with me? You'll know that he forgot that I'm live. And I'm painting just right over the graphite lines, just to cover those lines up. I'm going to fill in those little crevices. I don't know what kind of wood this is. I haven't had to buy any wood in the last couple of months. Last time I went, I stocked up pretty good. So I have to let that dry because it's at the point where it's not dry and I'm just pushing paint around and making a mess of it if I try to put any more on it. So I'm just going to leave that alone so that it'll dry. And let's go ahead and do this one. Here's another little one over here. So I'm going both ways, kind of back and forth to fill in the crevices of the wood. Now I could double load this brush and get 2 different colors on the leaf at once. Let's see if I've got any of that light. Yes, here's the light Hauser green. See the difference in the colors? So this is a good highlighter to use for that. So on the second coat, I think I will do that. I'll put a little bit of both of them on there to give us some of that effect. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I don't know if y'all can hear Mila snoring. She is out. I do spoil her when she's here. I have to admit it. I spoil her just like I would the grandkids. She is a Cavapoo. She's half King Cavalier and half Poodle. She's got a super sweet personality. And the best thing is that breed, they don't shed. And she does not. I still put a blanket over my couch when she's here. But she does not shed. I grew up with Chihuahuas. My granddaddy raised the little tiny teacup Chihuahuas. And that's what I always had. My husband says that's not a real dog. They're so cute. Okay, let's see. We've got one that's kind of behind the lemon on this one. My craft room is a mess right now because I've got so many projects going on. As I finish them, I'm stacking them like the little chunky canvases I just showed you. I'm putting 2 back to back in the big Ziploc baggies, pricing them and getting them ready. So they're already priced and ready to go when we're ready to load my trailer up. And luckily, the high school is just right down the road from us, so we don't have very far to go. If we've forgotten something, we can just run back to the house and get it. So I love it being so close. Okay, that's just a vine. Mila, go find Papa. Go see what Papa's doing. She just woke up. And she knows when you tell her to do something, she knows what you're saying. So it's sad that a lot of times we are spelling things, because if we say it, she knows what we're saying. Like you can't say, do you want to go, we have to say R-I-D-E or T-R-U-C-K, because she knows that that means we're going to go somewhere, and she gets all excited. So we have to spell things. Okay, I think, whoop, missed a leaf. Here's one right here on this one. And this, the board looks really dry from the stain, but once I seal it, it'll bring a little bit of shine to it. I've been seeing so many ladies on Facebook, in the club and everything, that are first-time painters. They've never painted before, and they're branching out and trying to paint for the first time. It's so exciting to see everybody doing that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit that's light green too. And we'll get both on there and kind of give us some, just some different colors in it. I noticed some of the trees out in our yard are just beginning to get a little hint of changing colors. So many times here in Texas, it just gets so hot in August that they just turn brown and fall off before it's time for them to change colors. Well, this time we've had just enough moisture and the temperature's cool, so I'm hoping that we get some pretty leaf color. Okay, so just blending in a little bit of that light color. Let's go ahead and put a second coat on this and get it wet. I can hear my husband downstairs. It sounds like he's still working. He works from home. Oops, sorry, didn't realize I had you out. And seeing pictures of several of you that have been doing your first craft shows, craft fairs. So proud of you. I just love doing them because I love visiting with all the different people that come through. I posted on in the clubhouse that I have a dilemma. It's a good dilemma. I'm not complaining. It's a very good one. So Pam Kelly, if you're watching, I'm not complaining at all. But I'll get everything, just try to get everything made up for the booths, because you have to have a good inventory, you know, to sell. And so I'll post things trying to just kind of encourage people to come, say, look, here's some of the things that are going to be available at the craft show, and hope you can come. And then I get phone calls or text messages. Hey, I saw what you posted. I want it now. Well, it's really for the craft show, but you hate to turn down a sale. But then you've got the dilemma of making sure you paint another one, or you know, something else to replace it. Or before you know it, you don't have much to put in your booth. But the little girl's bench that I did, one of my friends at church saw it, and she's wanting it for somebody in her family. So I'm tickled that it's going home to hopefully a happy little girl that's going to like it. Okay, I'm going to add a little more of the base coat of that big leaf because it needed another color on it. I mean another coat. I could see the wood through it. Our ladies at church have been super busy making things for take home for all the ladies, and we're having it catered. With some good food. We just redid our lobby with all new furniture. It looks so nice. I'm so tickled that it got done in time for the Ladies' Day. Then I'm going to come back on the bottom part of the leaf and we'll do some dark green on it. And I think for the vines we'll just do a darker brown. Back with a little more of the dark. Somebody had said that buffalo plaid they thought was kind of fading out, but not from what I'm seeing at Hobby Lobby, and some of my customers were wanting the buffalo plaid. So I kind of think it's still going. If I had my way about it, I could just paint Christmas all year round. But a lot of people don't care for that. And I understand completely. My husband's like all these Hallmark movies right now that are showing all the Christmas movies. He's like, I just can't do it. Just can't do it this early. Okay, so I just added a little more of that dark green, medium greens, not actually dark, the darker color. Just put a second coat on these that were thin. I've seen some cute scarecrows too. I haven't painted a scarecrow this year. I did last year, and they all sold. I have done some pumpkins. And all but one of those have sold. Okay, we've almost got the highlighting finished. see, we need to put a little more on these here. I know. Oh, you're going to hear her start barking because I can hear a dog outside barking, so you may hear her sing back to him. Oh, she's growling now. She's going to be tough. Okay, I think that's good enough on that. So let's go in with some of the dark. It's a little messy there. Hey, go find your Peppa. What's Peppa doing? Okay, now we're going to go in with, this is the Hauser Dark Green. So it's almost a piney green. No ma'am, don't get in the trash. Thank you. She's just looking at it. Because she is a sock thief and any Kleenex. Anything with Kleenex that she wants to get hold of. Okay, did I put some? Oh, I don't think I highlighted this one, so let's go back over and highlight it right quick. Just noticed that it was bare. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the green. Milo, no ma'am. Hey, let me get, she's got some paper. Let me grab it from her. No. Are you feeling better? Getting in trouble now? That look she gives me. Okay, now we can go in with some of the dark. And we're just going to do the opposite side of where we put the light. And just kind of blend it in. I had a little bit too much water in there. Okay, and this one will be up next to the lemon. Okay, she's kind of waking up now. I just added a little more of that base coat green to help it blend in a little bit. Okay, and then we'll put one here, and then we'll put our little veins, the little vein lines. Okay, so we need some on that one. Okay, don't know if it's showing up really well for you, but it really is just making the leaves just pop and giving them a little more of a realistic look. So I'm loading up our base coat green. And then just adding a little bit of that dark green on the corner. And just the opposite side of the highlight. Just blending a little bit in along that edge. A little darker. I really like using this dark Hauser green to do pine needles, and then come back with the medium green and go over it and do more pine needles just on top of each other, and it gives it that layered look. Okay, when your Lazy Susan gets not in the center, it might make you a little seasick because it's off center because I'm moving it around. So let's see if we can get it a little better centered there. But I'm trying to keep it in camera for you. But I'm like, whoa. Okay, just kind of thinning it out there, blending it in. Okay, we need some there. This little guy. Got a gnat trying to paint with me. Alright, I did this one just the opposite. It needs, the light needs to be on this, the opposite side of it. So I'll see if we can fix that. Hey, I heard you down there. Are you getting in trouble? Are you getting in trouble with Peppa? Grammy's busy right now. She's wanting me to take her OUT. And her Peppa will be happy to, but she thinks I have to for some reason. Okay, can you see the difference in the dark and the light? Starting to look lemony. I see a leaf that I missed right there that I didn't get painted, so we'll go back and do that. Just blending it out, and a little more of that dark. Okay, let's do this one on the bottom. Colors blend so nicely together. Right now they look like they're just kind of floating in the air because we haven't connected them with their vines. Okay, so while those are drying, let's go back down here on the leaf that I missed right here and get it base coated in. It's just a small one, but it balances it out. Okay, I'm on that chisel edge. And it's kind of behind the lemon a little bit. Yeah, just filling it in. I have to kind of pounce again because this wood is a little, has crevices in it. Okay, let's do our highlight. And she's back up here laying down beside me. Okay, let's add some dark to that. I'm going to dry that one just a little bit. And now let's get some dark. Okay, now with that dark, I'm going to go through and put some of the veins in it, and I'm going to use my liner brush. Get a little bit smaller one. Okay, this has a little bit smaller bristle on it than this one. This one's great for doing vines and things, but I like the shorter one for doing the veining. So we'll do that in the dark green. In that dark Hauser green. Let me get a little bit of water. It's starting to kind of dry out. I've got my fan going up here. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of moisture with it. Okay, and we'll start up here at the top. And I'm just going to, not much pressure at all, and just a few little lines here and there, just kind of going with the curve of the leaf. I don't want real fat lines, so I'm just barely putting any pressure at all. Put a small one up here. Just adds another layer to it. That one just kind of goes all the way off of the board. I don't know if y'all can hear her, but she's out in the hallway kind of snorting at me right now because I'm not giving her the attention. I'm telling you, it's like having a toddler, little toddler here. I hear you out there. We had a huge possum in the yard last night that she discovered when she went out. And she was real tough until we weren't out there. And then she was like, let me in. I hear you. You go find your Papa. Go find Papa. See if y'all can see her. I don't think you can see her. What are you doing? Huh? Oh. No, I don't think you can see her. I was going to try to show her to you. Well, thank you, Cindy. Hi, Jean. Hi, Miss Debbie. I heard you had a wonderful sale. I'm so proud of you. Change bows to buffalo plaid. Yeah, I think it's still going. You can you hear her? She's, what? What do you want? All my stuff I got stacked over there trying to get ready. What do you want? Go tell Papa. Go tell him to take you out. I'm busy. That stare. She's got what I call googly eyes. That's what the King Cavaliers have. No, you have to go tell Papa. Go tell Papa that you need to go out. Go tell him. And there she goes. She knows exactly what I just told her to do. My daughter just sent me a text that she just landed safe at the airport. Yay. Okay. You always want to know that your babies are safe and sound, even though they're not babies anymore. Okay, so I'm going to try something with this, with my little scruffy brush, to see if we can get kind of a dimple look on there. I just want a few on there. So let me put you back down. Let's see if we can make it a little realistic. Not realistic, but I'm going to kind of dry brush it on. I don't want it real. I don't want much on it at all. So I'm getting most of it off, and it's just a little scruffy brush that I've let dry out, and I'm just going to put a few of those dimples on the edge of it. Okay, what do you think? I don't know if you can see it or not. But just right down here. I think that looks okay, because I wasn't sure how I was going to get the dimple look on there, but I think that's going to work. So let me do it right up here. I'm trying to do it so that you can see it. So I'm just kind of pouncing it lightly on. Got some spots here that where it bled because of that the way the wood is. Then I'll go back and kind of touch those up a little bit. Mix a little bit of that yellow in to kind of muffle it down here a little bit. So that's a little darker than I wanted, so I'm just putting little bit of yellow in there with it too. Okay, I kind of like muffling it a little bit with that yellow. Again, I've never done a lemon, so I'm not real sure exactly what they're supposed to look like. I just know they have kind of that little dimple look on them. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Okay, honest opinion, what do you think? Does it look kind of like the dimples in it? I do like putting the yellow, mixing a little bit of that yellow in with it so it's not quite so harsh. Some kind of going up the other side too. Okay, now I'm adding some of that yellow back in. She gave up. She's back asleep now. Okay, one more, and then we're going to do the vines. I'm laughing because Miss Tamara Bennett with Southern Adornments Decor, I love watching her paint. She is so fast. She can do this entire thing in under an hour probably. Oh, I know she can. She does very detailed ones in under an hour, and it's taken me 6:30, an hour and a half just to do the lemons and the leaves. So Tamara, if you're still on here, don't be laughing at me. She's so sweet. So if y'all have never gone on her site and watched her paint, you need to look up Southern Adornments, D-O-O-R, Adornments Decor, and look at some of the pretty things that she paints. And she sells blanks, and she also sells patterns, templates, and things of that nature. She's just got a great following and just a super positive attitude, and she's just really fun to watch. Okay, so I'm going to kind of let those alone and dry a little bit. I may or may not do anything else to them. And let's go ahead and work on our vines. So for our vines, I think I'm going to go with a dark brown. Let's go with burnt umber and see what we get. Now I can also go through and shade underneath each of the lemons to kind of give it a 3D look. Not sure with the crevices the way they are in this if that would do real well. I might try it on one of them. We'll see. Okay, so this is Deco Art Burnt Umber. And I'm going to use that liner brush that we were doing the leaves with, the veins in the leaves. Going to water it down. Anytime I'm doing lining work with a liner, vines or anything like that, I like for it to be kind of an ink consistency. Okay, so let me see where, it's hard to see with this ring light where everything is. Okay, so we've got a vine there. Goes behind the other leaf. And let's put the stems on our lemons. Okay, we've got one here. And one coming out there for that leaf. Okay, so let's go down to the next one. And we've got a vine coming kind of in front of one and behind the other. This liner brush is trying to separate. Okay, can you see that? And let's go ahead and do stem for this one. And I'm kind of bringing the stem when it gets to the lemon, not making it completely just straight across, kind of bringing out little stem, little parts of the stem that come down on the lemon. See how it's not straight on the top of it? I'm just bringing the wood part of it down a little bit. Okay, let's do this one kind of loops around. And our stem. I have painted a lemon before, it just dawned on me. In fact, I have it sitting over there on my shelf. Grab it before I forget to show you. You're okay. You're all right. I'm sorry. Did I disturb your nap? I did, didn't I? Okay, so I did this one last year, I guess. And this is one of the boxes that Tamara Bennett's husband, Michael, made. And so I did white inside, and then I dry brushed the stripes on, and then painted the lemon on top of it. So I do have a few little dimples here and there in it as well. So this one I have marked at 23, and that will be at the craft show. So it's got a little bumblebee on it. A lot of my prices depend on what I paid for the piece. You know, what I had to pay for it, and so I just kind of go from there, and how much details in it and all of those things. Hi, Patty. Okay, y'all, I'm getting texts crazy because my daughter, everybody's saying, yay, glad you made it home. Hi, Mona. Looks like we've got some new ones on here tonight. Thank you so much. I actually got 4 or 5 new followers this week, so I'm at 553 now. So every time, for those of you that don't know, that are newbies, every time I hit 100 mark of new followers, like if I hit 400, then I send out some nice happy mail. So when I hit 500, I sent out some happy mail. And then once I get to 600, I'll send out some more happy mail. And so far, everybody that's gotten my happy mail has loved what I send them. So you have to go tell Papa. She is fussing at me. All right, let's get back down here and see if we can get this finished up here. Okay, so doing the vines here. No, you go tell Papa. Go tell Papa. Grammy can't go out with you right now. She's actually wanting me, this is her bedtime, and she's wanting me to go lay down so that she can go to sleep. Okay, so we're going to go to this lemon. I don't even know what a lemon vine looks like. But close enough, I think. And still using that burnt umber. I like to do a lot of my staining with burnt umber. I will water it down just a little bit, like the size of a quarter. I'll brush it on and then just wipe it off with a wet cloth or a baby wipe. And it gives a really pretty stained finish on the back of your pieces. Or if I'm doing a pumpkin, a lot of times I will do the stem of the pumpkin using that. Let's see, let me grab my pumpkin. Because when you water it down, you brush it on, and then you wipe it off, it gives you the stained look, and the grain still shows through it. Now I've got a little bit of gold on this too. That's what you're seeing. But it just gives it a realistic look. This one's backwards, but it says thankful. And I've got some buttons on there. I just put a few little gold highlights in it. And so that one will also be at the craft show. Okay, so we've got a little vine that's kind of twirling here. Let's get that one on there. I'm having a hard time seeing because of my light, and it kind of comes out from this one. This was not a specific pattern. I just drew them on there. I had a little shape to go with, but as far as the vines and the leaves, I'm kind of just winging it. Alright, and our stem on this one. And I'm just barely with the tip coming down, like part of that stem is attached to the lemon, just coming over it. Alright, we got one more down here. Okay, let's go ahead and attach, since we've got these others attached, let's go ahead and attach the other one up here, because there's not one going from this one. Little white spot here. I'm going to try to cover up just a little bit. Okay, what do y'all think? Does it need anything else? I'm going to put a little bit of white, just tiny little white lines on. Are you back? I thought you went downstairs. Just on the leaves, just to give it a little more highlight there. So I've just got a liner brush just on the tip, putting it on and taking most of it off. And I'm just going to put a little bit of a highlight on the leaves. Not much. Just with the very, very tip of that. You're being a good girl. She's licking my feet, trying to kiss up to me. Ready to play. Okay, you see anything else that they need? This one will not be going outside, so I will probably use Mod Podge to seal it. Okay, I am going to take this burnt umber and I just want to see what shading it just a little bit with that will do. I'm just going to get just a little bit, I mean barely on the tip of that. And just kind of go under. Just under the bottom of them. Hey, quit licking my feet. Okay, I think I do like that. So let's go ahead and do it under this one. My brush is splitting on me. Okay, it's kind of wet out there. That part will dry, but I do like giving it the dark edge underneath. Just looks like a shadow and just makes it look a little more 3D. Okay, can you see the difference? I have not done these two, but I've done the dark brown under the top two. I know you're being so good. Grammy's almost done. I really am. She said, you've been saying that for an hour and a half. Okay, so let's go. I'm trying to be careful I'm not getting on the leaves. Okay, and let's do this bottom one. Piece of fuzz. Add a little bit of water. Yeah, I'm just gonna blend it out. Just darkening those that I had just done, because once it dried it kind of faded in. Just blending it out. soften that one up there. It's a little bit harsh. Okay, let's darken this one up here just a little. Okay, I think I like that a lot better. Soften that one up a little. Alrighty. See if there was anything that we missed. I think that's it. Let me go ahead and dry it just a little bit. I think before I seal it, I was going to go ahead and seal it and let you see, but I just used the Mod Podge, the matte finish, or you could also spray it. I'm almost out of spray, so I'm thinking that's that I'm probably going to Mod Podge. I forget, I'm trying to reach up here and I forget I can turn it now. This would be pretty to do fall leaves on too, but I'm going to make sure that they like this, that this is what they were wanting before I seal it, to see if there's anything else. They just wanted them on one side. And so before I seal it, I think I'm going to make sure that they like it. So let me hold it up here. I know it's backwards. Let's get kind of close up so you can see how putting that dark brown just kind of sets them like they're sitting in the wood. The letters are stenciled on. This is a stencil. Renee Goen, a lady that goes to church with me. She's also a Painters Clubhouse sister. She just got a brand new Cricut and she's never had one before. So this is one of her first stencils that she made by herself from her Cricut. So she stenciled the words on, the letters on. So they're stenciled on with paint. And she stained the board. All I've done are the lemons. So it's been kind of a team effort there. So we turn it this way and you can see that brown, underneath, and just the little dimple effect. Because I understand that most of the lemons I see have that little dimple effect on them. And this thing's heavy. So it's going to go in a big easel that's going to sit on the cabinet. So I think, I'm hoping that's what they want. And when we get it sealed, the wood looks a little dry right now, but once we get it sealed, I think that's going to really moisten it up. And again, she got this at Lowe's. Let's see how big it is. It is, it's an 18-inch, so it's an 18-inch round. And it's really pretty. I mean, it's pretty wood, but it's like I said, it's got grooves in it, so it kind of bleeds a little bit, which reminds me I need to go up and touch up a couple of those there. But sure made it easier with this Lazy Susan. So thank all of y'all that have hounded me and told me with the kind of painting I do, I really need one. But it's going to also show you all the things that I showed you in the beginning that I've been working on. This is just fence panels, just cut down. And I did little shelf sitters last year. This says, "Happy Fall, y'all." I put the parentheses in the oh, whatever you call that. Anyway, it's supposed to be right after the Y, not after the A. So I kept this one. I did these late one night. But little pumpkins on there, and I did several with Santas and snowmen, and these sold like crazy. I just put $5 on them for the craft show, and they were gone. I kept this one because it was not, I mean, the little thing there. What do you call that? I can't even think. Asterisk? Is that what it is? No, I can't think what it is. Anyway, the comma up top. There you go. But I put it in the wrong place, so I kept this one. But so you don't have to have a lot of fancy things to make some cute things out of. You know, just use what you've got around the house. I'm being sung to over here. It's like, okay, Grammy, I'm done. But thank you for painting with me. I've got so many little Christmas things that I am so excited to paint with you. But I had to get the little table and chair set finished first. Apostrophe, thank you so much. I could not think. And thank you. It is a pretty piece. I mean, the wood is really pretty. So I'm hoping that they're going to like this. But I'm just kind of hopping in and out with the table and chairs. It's like a part 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just kind of hopping in and out as I'm doing them. So that you can kind of see my process and what I'm doing. So some of them aren't full from start to finish. I'm just having to do them as get on here as I do them. So I will probably be doing the little stove and sink set out in the garage because they are too big for in here and really too tall for my kitchen table. I mean, for my dining room table. And so I'll probably be doing those out in the garage, base coating them if I can get to that. But I've got several other little things too. Mila, tell them, say, hey. Hey, tell them, say, I'm being a good girl, but I'm done, aren't you? Come here. Are you done? Okay, all right, I gotta go tend to this grand dog. Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. If you have any questions, let me know. Check out my website. I've got tips on there, lots of different tips. My tip tonight was get you a Lazy Susan. They are so nice and so helpful. And okay, she's getting serious now. What do you want? What? Are you wanting to go outside? Okay. All right. So that's my cue. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. If you don't mind, please hit that spread the love, spread the paint button so everybody else can hop on too next time. And until next time, thanks so much. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.